Hello there, everybody. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Was just getting the camera worked out here. Hope you're all doing well. We'll give people a couple minutes to get in and for me to get my camera to be somewhat straight. As we wait for people to come, just take a moment right now to arrive in your spot as you are. Taking a moment to really connect with your seat, with the sound and spaces. Yes, I started about 20 seconds ago. Are you guys getting a stream right now? Maybe? Okay, great. Yeah, YouTube, I think maybe from all the, oh, great, good, excellent. YouTube has been a little tricky lately. I think it's probably just because so many people are doing exactly what we're doing tonight with everything. And maybe our internet's not doing too well, but excellent. I'm glad we're all connected now. We'll give people a couple minutes to stream in. I'm just going to post a couple links for you. The first one is the mantra we'll be doing tonight. And the second one, so the first one you definitely need, and you can just pull it up on your computer to look at. Her mantra is very easy to remember, but I think I might have not given you the HTTPS there. Let's try that again. So this, I'm gonna get rid of that link. Here's a good link. This link you do need to get her mantra. The second link is an image of green Tara. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about green Tara. You don't need the image, but if you're just interested for whatever reason, this is an image of green Tara. She's a popular female Buddha that you see a lot in Tibet, northern India, Mongolia, a few different areas. So you can grab the mantra, which is the first link, and if you're interested in seeing an image of Tara, I think from the 17th century this one is, you can check it out. So let's just take a moment to settle in together. Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche has this really great 3 pills exercise he does. So I'm going to give it to you. He says it's because Westerners like our pills so much. So the first pill is the white pill, and it's a pill for the body. So for the white pill, take a moment to connect with the stillness in your body. Even if your body's not completely still, even in movement, you can still connect with a sense of stillness. See if you can notice that stillness. And that same stillness within, see if you can notice it outside your body. The next pill is the red pill. And with the red pill, it's kind of the speech pill. We can notice our inner silence. So when the mind is very clear, this is easy to hear. But even with thought, there's still a silence that permeates all around thought. See if you can notice that silence. And now notice the silence outside your body. Even with noise around, there's still a deep silence. See if you can notice it. And now the third pill, the blue pill, is a pill for the mind. See if you can notice the space that already exists in your mind. Even when our thoughts are wild, we have a lot of emotions, tons of to-do lists, there's a ton of space all around those things. See if you can notice that space. That space is vast, open. All our thoughts, to-do lists, they're just like small clouds in this vast sky of the mind. See if you can notice that space. And having noticed that space within, see if you can sense that space outside of your body. And now take a moment and reflect on whether there's any difference between the space within and without. Just look, perceive. You don't have to think about it. Just look at the space in your mind, look at the space outside your mind. Notice if there's any difference. Perfect. Good. Happy to see you all out tonight. I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy, enjoying the fall weather. Tonight we're going to work with mantra, which is why I posted the two links. So if you didn't hear before, the first link is a link to mantra, Tara's mantra. So there's the English and the Tibetan. And the second link is an image of green Tara. I'm just going to give you a really brief teaching on green Tara and how these mantras and images work. And then we'll move right into meditation. And I'll talk a little bit about why mantra is useful. So in Tibetan and Vajrayana Buddhism, there are many different historical and fantastical Buddhas aside from the historical Buddha. And I should couch this whole conversation by saying you don't need to be a Buddhist to use this mantra or to meditate in general. You can be Christian, you can be Muslim, you can be any faith. There's no requirement to be Buddhist, but it's nice to get a little bit of context for the mantra. So these images of Buddhas like Tara are used to kind of inspire us to see these other people who have awakened to their true nature, seeing their true face. So when we see an image of Tara, like the image I shared with you, she's not really external from us. She's actually like a mirror, meant to look into that mirror and see our own true nature, our own mind. And then there are stories about Tara that can kind of inspire us on the path. And there's many, many, many stories. So not a single one that is verifiable, but there's some really interesting ones. So Tara, her kind of human origin story is really cool because she's like the first Buddhist feminist. So green Tara started to kind of show up in some practice texts and images around the 5th or 6th century AD in India. And the story goes that the historical Tara was a female layperson, not a monk, because at that time women weren't allowed to be monks. And she was like a totally awakened being. She understood the nature of reality, understood herself, and she was so knowledgeable and so good at helping other people see their own true nature that she would set up on the side of a hill beside a monastery, because she wasn't even allowed in the monastery because she was a woman. And then the monks would leave the monastery to go get her teachings, and then they would head back to the monastery after. And one time a monk said to her, "Oh, it's really too bad that you were born as a woman. The best you can hope for is maybe in your next life, you will be a man, and then you can be awakened." And Tara said to him, "Well, actually, you're not right. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, and our true nature, our true essence is beyond male or female. So I will awaken in this body, and throughout history, I will continue to emanate in a female form to show that women are just as capable of enlightenment as men," which I think is fantastic. And it sounds pretty obvious nowadays, but in the 5th century, I think that was probably pretty radical. So that's a little bit about Tara's history. So the mantra that I've shared with you there, you'll have the English and Tibetan. I'll repeat it a few times for you. It's Om Tare, Tutare, Ture, So Ha. I'll repeat it throughout guiding the meditation as well. Mantra can be really great to work with because it uses our mind, our thoughts. So often when we're using another object like our breath or body sensations, we still have thoughts going on, which is natural. But when we use mantra, we're kind of harnessing our thoughts, like the loving kindness meditation last week too. And you can actually say mantra out loud. It's a little different than, with loving kindness, we usually just repeat it mentally. But speaking mantra also is using your speech then. So you're actually getting pretty active, which can help if your mind's really busy, you're really stressed out, have a lot going on. Just repeating a mantra, focusing on the sound of your voice, focusing on the words, just repeating it over and over out loud can be really useful because you're kind of harnessing all of these tools, and it doesn't give you as much time to be busy in your mind. So if you're comfortable, you can speak the mantra out loud as we do the practice tonight, if you're in a space where you can do that, or you can repeat the mantra just in your head. I thought I would tell you a little bit about malas as well, because you probably see people wearing them all the time. And they have different traditions and different cultures, like even if you think of rosary beads in Christianity, and then you'll probably see people in yoga studios wearing malas as well. But a mala has 108 beads. It's not a requirement for meditating with mantra, but often you'll see people using it. You just hold it over your finger, and each time you say the mantra, you move the bead once across your finger. So it can be nice to give you yet another job. So you can be saying the mantra, you can be moving the beads and thinking of the words, listening to your voice. So you can really occupy yourself. For a practical reason, the way these are used in like my lineage or history is actually for counting. So the reason there's 108 beads is because you kind of get 8 freebies. So if you miss a bead or you mispronounce or something. And then there's all these funny little tools for counting hundreds. So there's like a little counter like this. And then once you get to 10 of those, you move to this one to go by thousands, up to 10,000. And then you can start adding other ones. So once you get to 10,000s, you can get to 100,000s. So in some practices, you like repeat up to 1 million, like to accomplish Tara, for example, they would say, do 1 million repetitions. So you can get them all if you think it would be fun. You don't have to count, obviously. But I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about that as well. So why don't we jump right in? Before we start the meditation, I'm just going to slowly repeat the mantra 3 times. And for this part, I would repeat it after me. So there's this thing called a verbal transmission or a lung that is this idea that this mantra or any mantra, any teaching has been passed from student to teacher, teacher to student, other way throughout history. So I heard this mantra from one of my teachers, and they heard it from their teacher, they heard it from their teacher, etc. So now I can repeat it for you, and if you repeat it after me, you've received the lung for this mantra. Also not a requirement, but if you'd like to. So I'll say it slowly, and then you can just repeat it after me. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture, So Ha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture, So Ha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture, So Ha. And there you go. As we settle into the space, take a moment to set an intention or motivation for the practice. The ultimate motivation is that this practice helps us to see our own true nature, our essential goodness and openness, peacefulness, kindness, so that we may lead all beings to find their own best self. But you don't have to go huge. It can also just be as easy as, may I be calm, may I be peaceful, may I be more present. And just let that go. And now connect with your body as it sits right now. Notice the cushion beneath you or chair. Notice your feet, your hands, just gently checking in, noticing any sensations that arise or fall. Notice the space around you, the literal space, the space between you and the walls, ceiling, the space between your screen and your eyes. Notice this pervasive space all around. And see how much you can rest and relax into open awareness. Seeing how much you can just let things be. Letting go of thoughts of the past, to-do lists, fears and hopes of the future. Letting go even of thoughts of the present moment, of analysis. Letting go of the idea of even meditating. Just resting and relaxing right now in this present moment, beyond thought, beyond concept. Just be. And now we'll start the mantra. I'll speak it out loud quite a bit. If you're able to pull it up on your screen, you can do that, or you can just listen. Again, you can speak it out loud or just mentally repeat it. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Just gently repeating the mantra, either mentally or with your voice, at whatever speed feels right. Probably slow at first as you get used to it. Just listening to the words, reading the words, visualizing them, just gently bringing your mind to the mantra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 And whenever the mind becomes distracted by thoughts, emotions, things happening around you, no need to be upset or frustrated. It's totally natural to become distracted, and all of us do very quickly. When it happens, you can just notice, relax back into the present moment, and start again on the mantra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Just for a moment, let the mantra go. Come back to that big, open mind. Once again, resting into the experience of now. Like sitting on the edge of a river, watching the water flow by. The water is all of our experience of our sense organs, of our thoughts and emotions, just passing gently by like a river, as we can just sit and observe. Whenever you're distracted, just coming back to awareness itself. awareness that permeates everything, the knowing mind. And then on your own pace, you can start up with the mantra again. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Just gently repeating the mantra mentally or out loud. And that same relaxed, gentle awareness just on the words of the mantra now, not the meaning, just the sound. Just with that very light effort, the same effort it takes to listen to my voice, that's all you need to do to just gently point your awareness at the mantra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Then letting the mantra go again. And as much as possible, coming back to a feeling of effortless presence. That's all you need, just to be present. You actually don't need to remove anything from your mind or add anything. You, just as you are right now in this present moment, is exactly what you need. That's it. Just you and your presence. And as you rest in open awareness, you'll notice sounds, sensations in the body, maybe smells. If you have your eyes open, you'll see. But we can actually just sit back in our awareness itself and just let all these objects, sensory experiences just play out while we just rest in our own effortless presence. And as you rest in open awareness, you may notice stories start to play out about the things you're seeing or hearing or the thoughts you're having. Don't worry about that. That's the mind's function, is to tell these stories, to make concepts. But as much as possible, just let go of that and keep coming back to the knowing mind. So not the storytelling mind, but just basic, pure, bare awareness. That's it. It's very simple, but very powerful. The knowing mind or awareness can know absolutely anything, but its nature never changes. It's unfazed by the coming and going of phenomena. So the more we can come back to this basic presence or awareness, the more we can touch base with this strong foundation that doesn't go up and down with all the events that happen in our life. And as we start to wind our practice down for the night, we can dedicate the merit together, which is just this act of thinking or wishing that whatever benefit we receive from this practice tonight, whatever calm, whatever space, that it may be shared with all who need it. As we come out of our meditation, stretching, listening to your body, whatever you need to do. So I'll take a few minutes to take any questions you might have had about the practice or the teaching. You can just pop it into chat there. If you enjoyed using mantra, you could start to try this out at home. This is just a mantra that I gave you, but really anything works. Any text, any words, short, simple. The nice thing about using a mantra in Sanskrit like this one is that we don't really have any preconceived notions about what it means. So it's a nice neutral focus to use where we don't tell too many stories about it. But if you have something that inspires you, some kind of short phrase or a few words or even one word, you can use that as a mantra too. Just repeating it the same way we did in this meditation. Gently bringing your mind back to it. It can be a really nice practice when we feel super overwhelmed, or maybe if we're feeling physically ill. Just doing mantra, you can do it lying down. It's just kind of a nice, simple, easy practice. So for your homework, you could try out some mantra. If you don't have a regular meditation practice, as always, I'd recommend trying to do 5 minutes a day, daily if you can, because these little short moments are what will give you momentum in your practice and starting to be able to bring that practice off of the cushion or chair and into your everyday life. So 5 minutes if you have it once a day, whenever works for you, evening, morning, just taking that 5 minutes to connect with awareness, with the knowing mind. That's great, Doug. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really powerful practice. For your informal practice, this is where we start to really try to marry the work we do on the cushion with our everyday life. See if you can think of something you do a few times a day: washing your hands, going to the bathroom, walking through doorways, going outside. Think of something: opening the fridge. Think of an action you do a few times a day and pick that one action to be an action where you'll remind yourself to come to the present moment. So, say it's washing your hands. Every time you wash your hands, when you remember, think, "Oh, right, I'm washing my hands. I'm just going to be aware right now." You can just be in open awareness as you wash your hands, or you could repeat your mantra a few times. Notice the sensations in your body, anything like that. So you'll get whatever your formal practice is, 5 minutes to whatever you have time for. And then you'll have these short little, like really just 15 to 30 seconds of things you're already doing. So you're not adding any more. And you'll start to connect your awareness from your formal practice and then through these little moments throughout the day. And then once you get used to that, it's just going to start to come more naturally and you won't have to bring as much effort to remember. Okay, I think no questions tonight. So I think we are complete for tonight. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the practice. If you have any practices you want to try or things you want to cover, feel free to post here or post in the Facebook page, send me an email or a message, and I'm happy to really do whatever you guys are interested in. And hopefully, at some point in the future, we'll get to meet again in person. We're going to have to play it by ear for the next little bit, but we'll see what the future holds. So stay safe, be well. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease.